Yes, indeed! Big Brother Bear here to give you all that you want and what you need. And today I'm going to give you 5 of the best reasons to consider playing junior college sports.
Hoop loudy.
Before I get started, let me go ahead and cordially invite you to subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and stop the video and subscribe now, and then head over to hooploudy.com and make sure you add yourself to the mailing list so you don't miss out on anything as far as the content moving forward. The 5 best reasons to play junior college sports are based off my reasons when I played junior college sports. The things that I saw, the things that I think if you knew about that can help your decision making in that process. And the first thing that I love so much about playing junior college sports, or playing basketball rather, is the best way to play against Division I talent without actually going Division I is playing in junior college. I'll say that again. I know it's kind of confusing. The best way to play against Division I talent is to play junior college. So let's face it. Some of us are not Division I caliber players. I was not a Division I caliber player. Maybe lower major, but definitely not high major and not mid major Division I talent. You will be surprised to know that some of the Division I talents you see on TV were recruited from some junior colleges. Were recruited from some junior colleges before they actually got to their Division I programs. But let me go ahead and clarify. All junior college teams or schools are not created equal. They're Division I caliber JUCOs, Division II, and Division III. And let me explain. Division III junior colleges cannot offer any scholarships. Division II junior colleges can offer scholarships. They can offer pretty much everything but room and board. But Division I, a program that I played for called Utah State Eastern, it was Eastern Utah when I played in Highway 6 in Price, Utah. That was a Division I junior college. Some of you may not even know that there's Division I junior colleges, Division II junior colleges, and Division III junior colleges. But that was a Division I junior college. So they pay for room and board. They have scholarships available, and they have tuition they can pay for as well. If you play at a Division I level junior college team, it's going to be a higher probable chance that you're going to play against some Division I talent. Division I meaning 4-year NCAA talent, okay? Not NJCAA for junior college Division I talent, but I mean the ones that you see on TV, March Madness, that type, the Oklahomas, the Texas States, the Iowa States. Let me think of some other schools that historically pick up junior college players. Illinois, like those schools, okay? Dukes don't pick up junior college. Duke does not pick up junior college, but you every once in a while you'll see something like North Carolina State and Miami and so on and so forth. So again, the most Division I basketball players I played against was when I played at junior college. When I played in junior college, because a lot of those individuals started there, okay? They didn't make the grades and whatnot, and maybe they started there. Maybe they didn't get the recognition they wanted coming out of high school, so they started at junior college. And I'm telling you, it was amazing to play against those Division I basketball players. So if you want to try your skills at Division I and you didn't make Division I straight out of high school, don't trip. Play high major Division I NJCAA junior college basketball, and you're gonna see them. You're gonna see them. You're gonna be tested by them on a nightly basis. The second thing I would say that's great about playing junior college sports or playing junior college basketball in my case was it gave me a second chance academically, okay? I didn't do well with my standardized test, so my standardized test was not going to allow me to be my standardized test was not going to allow me to play Division I even if I had the skill level to play Division I, which I didn't. It wasn't going to allow me to do it because my standardized test, my ACTs and SATs were horrible. Junior colleges they're not so reliant on those, right? And that's a great thing because it gives some people like me, second chance individuals academically, to actually get that groove, and it actually gives us a second chance to kind of prove ourselves academically, and we wouldn't have had that opportunity if we would have tried to go straight to Division I because we didn't make the criteria. We wouldn't have been qualifiers in the first place. 3, another thing that was helpful about playing junior college sports is it was another opportunity for me to get recruited. Let's face it, everyone's not going to get all the notoriety they think they should get in high school. But in junior college, you will. Your team does well, you will. There'll be ample opportunities, whether that be in competition or whether that be exposure camps that you have afforded to you. I've gotten so many invites when I was in junior college of exposure camps because there were four-year universities that were looking for junior college players, and I got invited to many of these camps, invited to many of these exposure opportunities. So you'll have that as well. So it's a chance to actually put your name in the hat again to get more exposure. And it's even that much more better if you redshirt. So if you don't know what redshirt means, that means you just practice with the team. No years are counted against you as far as eligibility wise. So you can redshirt 1 year and then the next year still be a freshman. And that means you still have 4 years to go. So that's better. That's great as well, right? You get recruited to a junior college, redshirt 1 year, go to some exposure camps, and then if someone wants you, they have 4 years to be with you as well. So 4 years to offer you as far as a scholarship if you can fit the bill. So that's awesome. The fourth thing I would say that I love about junior college basketball is it was a great way for me to get my feet wet academically. With the smaller class sizes, I was able to really get some momentum as far as how do I study, figuring out how do I study, figuring out my way around the school, figuring out what I needed to in order to do my very best. These are things that's going to be helpful for you before going to a four-year university, because typically when you go to a four-year university, it's a lot larger. So when junior college, my ratio of from teacher to student may have been 1 to 15, but some of these four-year universities, it may be 1 to 50, 1 to 75, 1 to 100, 1 to 200 as far as students, 200 students and one professor. That makes a big difference. So being able to go to a small school, especially when you're a person that wasn't picked to graduate high school, let alone college with a master's degree, helps you in kind of getting your feet wet and getting yourself trained on what it is that's going to be needed for you to actually excel academically. So junior college sports is very, very helpful for that, because junior colleges are just for 2 years and you can kind of get your feel out. You can kind of get feel and get your feet wet as far as what's going to be required. And the fifth one for me, the fifth one I would say that made me really love my junior college experience, and will probably do the same for you as far as sports are concerned, is it taught me a great deal of humility. Because it's unlike these big powerhouse schools you see on TV, the Kansas, the Dukes, the North Carolinas, the NC States, the UCLAs, the Michigans, Michigan States. Unlike all that, typically at junior college, no matter what level you're at, Division I, Division II, Division III, you're going to be lacking some resources. Some of the best ones still lack resources because it's a 2-year university. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some that have a lot more resources than others, but it's not like Division I. It's not even close. It's not like a high major Division II. It's not even close. It's not like even some of the Division III schools that I've seen. Junior colleges are there for 2 years. So I remember just my experience, and I love my experience, but when I say it helped me as far as being humble and really appreciate things, like I can remember in my junior college days where my coach was the person that was driving the vans. We didn't have bus drivers. My coach was the person that did the athletic training as well, so he taped the ankles, right? I can remember days where, our road games, we had four people in a room. So we had, a big bed, but we had two guys on each bed. And it was like, that is not what I was expecting. Though it wasn't ideal, it definitely made you more appreciative moving forward, because this stuff is not a given. You understand that it takes so many hands to make these things work, from the people that's volunteering for the concessions, from people that's volunteering as far as parking lot duty, from people, from your coaches that are wearing multiple hats. They may have thought that they just had the coach, but no, the coach is the athletic trainer, the coach is driving the buses, driving the vans. Like, our coaches, they earned their keep, to say the least, as far as all the things they did. And my last thing I'll say is this. This is what I loved about junior college basketball, and what I know if you play junior college sports, what you're going to get. It creates a sense of urgency. think about your days of playing in high school. When you played in high school, you came in as a freshman, you lackadaisical, going through the motions. Sophomore, you go through the motions a little bit more. Junior, you kind of picking it up, but it's still not full speed. Senior, you full speed, but not as best as you can do. And then like the last 3 games, you want to kick it in gear because you know it's your last hurrah. Think about if you only had 2 years. If you had 2 years, you wouldn't be dinking around. If you had 2 years, you would know that this is all I got to make this happen. And that's the same thing that we have in junior college sports. And then people know that, there's a sense of urgency because 1, I'm trying to get recruiters to this next level. And 2, this may be, if I don't take care of my business, this may be my last 2 years of actually playing sports in college. So the level of detail and the level of urgency, of sense of urgency, is through the roof. It's through the roof. It's not about, I'm just gonna kind of sit and rest on my laurels and I'm just gonna just go through the motions. There's none of that. Because even if you're a starter, you still want to maintain some type of edge about your game because you have Division I coaches looking at you nightly. You have 4-year university coaches looking at you on a nightly. And there's player rankings. And there's so many things at stake. And you only have 2 years. So that level of urgency and sense of being attentive and focused, laser-like focus, I got that from junior college basketball, and I know you'll get that from junior college sports. So if you have not considered playing any sports at junior college, or you just feel like that, like it's beneath you, then I encourage you to take a second look at it. You can go to junior college sports and you can play a junior college sport in redshirt. You can go there and redshirt 1 year and then just play the next and still have 3 years later at a 4-year university. There's a lot of things that you can have available for you. But I don't want you to come out of high school and think that it's beneath you. A lot of people think, because if it's not Division I, then it's a waste of time. And I don't believe that. If you've been watching enough of my content, you know that I don't buy into that at all. I love Division III. I love Division II. I love Division I. I love NAIA. I love any opportunity that you can play the game that you love for a day more. Healthy for a day more, right? Whether you score points or score no points, for you to do it a day more. Whether you play intercollegiate or intramural, meaning inside just games against people that's on your campus, I'm cool with that. It's a very fortunate it's a very fortunate position to be in, and I don't want anybody to miss out on the opportunity because it's some of the best memories I have in my life already with already playing sports, right? So I want everybody to be able to do that. No matter what level it's on.
Hoop Loud.